Hello, troopers, and welcome back to G.A.R. Productions. Today, we're going to look at the history of the LEGO Imperial Stormtrooper. In my opinion, the rise and fall of the Stormtrooper, and I will examine why I think that is. One of the most iconic LEGO minifigures of all time, the Imperial Stormtrooper has been a staple of LEGO Star Wars for decades, and is one of the most recognizable figures of LEGO and Star Wars, both separately and combined. Today we will look at an introduction in the first years that it was introduced, then positive changes to the figure, and lastly, in my opinion, the fall of the Imperial Stormtrooper. And then we will end with a few interesting notes and variants, and then a little ending conclusion. The first Imperial Stormtrooper was introduced in the 2001 TIE Fighter. The figure did not have connected mouth lines. Actually, they were kind of like little stubbles, kind of going off a few Stormtroopers, but more so some of the designs in A New Hope. Not so much The Empire Strikes Back, and especially Return of the Jedi would be kind of a gone Stormtrooper design, but still applicable to A New Hope kind of Stormtroopers. The first Stormtroopers, I believe, also had blank yellow heads that would turn later to blank black heads. Up until 2005, there were relatively few sets that came with Stormtroopers. If they did come with any Stormtroopers, they only had one. I think what I saw, there was only like 2 or 3, if you include technically Sand Troopers that didn't have any markings, they just had a pauldron. But even then, there was only like 3 or 4 sets by 2005 that even had Stormtroopers in them, which is kind of crazy for something that's such a staple of the original trilogy. A huge change, though, would happen in Imperial Inspection Set 7264. First off, it gave 4 Stormtroopers in one set. And bigger than that, 2 of the troopers had leg printing and hip printing. This would be a first for LEGO Star Wars, having leg and hip printing. And hip printing would be something we would never see again on an Imperial Stormtrooper. Up until this day that I'm recording this in 2024, we have not seen an Imperial Stormtrooper with hip printing again. It wasn't perfect, but still, it was very interesting to see the genesis of some things that often happen in LEGO Star Wars minifigures happen all the way back in 2005 with those Imperial Stormtroopers. And finally, in 2008, we would see a Stormtrooper battle pack with the Imperial dropship. Some positive changes to the Stormtrooper. As we've seen, the Stormtrooper design would actually be changed, I forgot that, but it would be changed in 2006. So in 2001, it was introduced. Those Stormtroopers still had kind of the skinnier ones, the skinnier mouth things. In 2006, the mouth lines would be changed to be fully connected, more of our normal, what we think of like the 2006 and that Battle Pack Stormtrooper era. That's what we would think of, and that change would happen in the Imperial Star Destroyer. This would stay until 2012, but again, not a lot of sets, again, would have a ton of Stormtroopers. It would be like maybe 1 or 2 a year would have a Stormtrooper. That's mostly due to, obviously, 2008 to 2012 was the absolute high point of Clone Wars sets, and I remember that very fondly, so it's not like people were very upset that they weren't getting Stormtroopers at the time. In 2012, though, the Stormtrooper would again receive a change from the old the mouth. It would keep the same helmet, but it would get an upgraded torso printing, which was very nice in 2012. Unfortunately, the set that it came in would only come with one. It was Endor Rebel Troopers, so there's 2 Endor Rebel Troopers, an Imperial Scout Trooper, which was nice. Those were kind of harder to get during that time, so it was nice to finally get one in a very cheap set, and then Imperial Stormtrooper, but kind of a little bit sad though to only get one Stormtrooper in a battle pack. That set, and then one other set, the Ewok Village, would be the only sets to have that Stormtrooper design with the new torso design. And then also in 2012, a first for the Stormtrooper overall design, there would be Sand Troopers with actual sand stains on their armor. This would be a first, and is continued up until this day, a significant improvement. All these things taken into consideration, though, LEGO had some other ideas for the Stormtrooper in 2014. Perhaps truly the greatest year of LEGO Star Wars, especially for army builders. The Stormtrooper, in my opinion, received its pinnacle upgrade, with leg printing again, finally after almost a decade, and a beautifully menacing-looking helmet redesign to go with a new torso and legs. The helmet is absolutely gorgeous. It perfectly encapsulates what is supposed to represent a Stormtrooper. A Stormtrooper is supposed to be menacing and to do the will of the Emperor, and it perfectly, in my opinion, encapsulates that. It is my favorite. I've said that before. It is my favorite Stormtrooper design, and I think it will stay that for the rest of my life. The Snowtrooper as well received a beautiful upgrade to a pretty much perfect level when it comes to its a new upgraded torso, legs, and more so the helmet design, one that would fit perfectly for Galactic Marines that LEGO has still not chosen to use, but I digress. We're not talking about clones, we're talking about Stormtroopers. And the Snowtrooper has received few updates. Unfortunately, a major down update, or not really an update, more like a down date, in my opinion, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Overall, the main design, though, has not changed because it is, I think, truly perfect. That also this year had the Rebels Stormtrooper, who is not, I understand, not everyone's favorite, but it is, however, very accurate and well designed to the show. Some people really like them. They're not my cup of tea. I really like Rebels, the show. The Rebel Stormtroopers are not exactly my cup of tea, but I totally understand people enjoying them, and they are a very good Stormtrooper. Sadly, though, over the next few years, except for unless you wanted Rebel Stormtroopers, it was pretty hard to army build these new amazing Stormtroopers. The first set that they came out with was the 2014 Star Destroyer, and that would be it for a few years. I think that truly was it until these next sets that came out. There was a variant that you could get that was really cool, in my opinion. I think a very underrated Imperial Stormtrooper variant, the battle damaged variant with the jetpack, also an Imperial Shock Trooper back in 2016 with the Imperial Battle Pack from Battlefront, the original Battlefront, or the new updated Battlefront 1. Very amazing troopers, but still unable to get that new amazing Stormtrooper in a easy way. This would all change in 2017. In 2017, coinciding with Rogue One in 2016, LEGO released a Rogue One Imperial Battle Pack with 2 of the 2014 style Stormtroopers and 2 Death Troopers, which were both figures that the community were highly desiring to get to army build, and truly is perhaps the best, in my opinion, the best Imperial battle pack of all time up to this point. Beautiful, both are beautiful designs, and finally, after years, it was possible to army build this amazing Stormtrooper. It also helped the Stormtrooper came out in a few other random sets from Rogue One and other various things, so that definitely helped building the numbers. But just as the pinnacle of being able to build the army in 2017, the seeds of its demise, of the Stormtrooper demise, or at least 2014 style, had already been planted. In 2018, we got what we thought was a good-looking step in the wrong direction. The Mimban Stormtrooper, well, very good-looking still to this day and a very impressive figure, was a step that LEGO made to dual-molded Stormtrooper helmets. Still in this year, we got 3 amazing Sandtrooper variants instead of just having... They brought all 3 updated. They had made one with just the black pauldron in 2014, but they had redone a cantina, and they'd also redone a Imperial dropship and put all 3 Sandtrooper variants, which was very nice to see. But this would be the last year of the 2014 Stormtrooper. Sadly, in 2019, the new Imperial dual-molded Stormtrooper was released. About 33% of the fans enjoy this trooper, but I, with roughly 66%, think this is a significant downgrade for many reasons. The helmet cannot fully turn. It looks kind of like the Stormtroopers from Family Guy, and it just doesn't capture the beautifully menacing look of the 2014 helmet, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions. I think the 2014 was perfect, and I don't see why they needed to change it, and yet they did, and we still remain with the dual-molded Stormtrooper helmet that I think is of less quality design-wise to the 2014. Also around this time, in I believe 2020 or 2021, they stopped giving commas to Snowtroopers, which unfortunately we said nothing about. And to our shame, this gave LEGO the go-ahead to get rid of clone commas as well, and now we have neither for either the Snowtroopers or Clone Troopers. Some interesting variants. The first variant of a Stormtrooper actually came out far before the Stormtrooper. Like I said, the first Stormtrooper came out in 2001. The Scout Trooper came out in 1999. That was the first Imperial Trooper to come out. I found that fascinating. I don't know why they did that, but nonetheless, they did. Snow Troopers first came out in 2003, but they had the clone torso from the Phase 1 clones from the same year. It would be a few years later where they'd get their proper own torso. The Shadow Trooper has come out in 4 different variants from 2007 to 2019. This is one of my favorite Imperial Troopers, and I think the one from 2007, the original, is my personal favorite, but it came out in the dropship. Again, also came out in the TIE Crawler, and then they re-released one of them in the 2014 style, but it was a grayish trooper. I don't really like the coloring design. It still looks cool, but I don't know if it's as accurate. That was in a battle pack with shadow guards, which are really cool. And then they re-released the dropship in 2020 with the dual molded Stormtrooper, or 2019 with the dual molded Stormtroopers, and they had a dual molded Shadow Trooper, which still looks, I think, maybe the best looking dual molded trooper that LEGO has made, even though I still don't like the dual molded. Another really cool variant of the dual molded is the Artillery Stormtrooper from The Mandalorian. Very cool. I think the last great Imperial variants of Stormtrooper-esque designs would be from Rogue One and Solo. We received three designs from, or two to three or more designs from each of those movies. Some, obviously the standouts being the Shore Trooper, the Death Trooper, the Range Trooper, and the Mimban Stormtrooper, and to a lesser degree, I think an underrated one would be the Patrol Trooper. Where will the future take us for the Imperial Stormtrooper? Before we get to the future, though, I again, in ChatGPT's infinite wisdom, asked, what is the history of the LEGO Star Wars Imperial Stormtrooper? I will try and briefly say it here again. I thought it was kind of interesting to see what it gets right and what it gets wrong, so we'll jump right into it. The LEGO Star Wars Imperial Stormtrooper is a popular minifigure in the LEGO Star Wars line, and its history follows the development of LEGO's collaboration with Lucasfilm to bring Star Wars characters to life in LEGO form. Here's an overview of the history of LEGO Star Wars Imperial Stormtrooper. The beginning. The first appearance of the minifigure first appeared in 1999 when LEGO released its Star Wars line in collaboration with Lucasfilm, making the first time LEGO produced Star Wars themed sets. The Stormtrooper minifigure was included in the set 7130, T16 Skyhopper, and Dewback. I missed that when I was looking through the sets. Give me 1 second. Let me look that up real quick, because I did not see any Stormtrooper variant in 1999, but maybe I missed it. That's actually a snowspeeder. So, yeah, ChatGPT is wrong again, but that's beside the point. Again, not evident. He's not perfect. He's still growing. So, the first Stormtrooper minifigure was relatively simple, following design principles of early LEGO minifigures. It featured a printed torso and helmet design based on the iconic white armor worn by Stormtroopers in the Star Wars films. Stormtroopers in various sets throughout the 2000s. The LEGO Star Wars line continued to include Stormtroopers in various sets, especially in scenes related to A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, some of the most iconic sets, including Stormtroopers as key minifigures. 10188 Death Star 2008. This set featured multiple Stormtroopers. That would be very true. I would very much agree with that. And then 75000 Imperial TIE Fighter included a Stormtrooper alongside a TIE pilot. It just loves 75000. I'm pretty sure that's actually the Clones versus Droidekas battle pack. It loves it so much. It is. It loved that in the clone history of army building, and it loves it here too. The 2012 TIE Fighter did actually not come with a Stormtrooper, so that's kind of interesting. The only TIE Fighter to come with a Stormtrooper was the first TIE Fighter. All the more modern TIE Fighters, well, I shouldn't say that, excuse me. The 2021 TIE Fighter did come with a Stormtrooper, but the TIE Fighter from Solo did not, and the 2013 TIE Fighter did not come with a Stormtrooper. Not 2013, 2012 TIE Fighter. Anywho, ChatGPT, not perfect. Anywho, updated helmet. In 2014, LEGO introduced a new mold for the Stormtrooper helmet. Not really a new mold, just a new design, but which was more detailed and had a more accurate appearance compared to the earlier versions. The version of the Stormtrooper helmet remained in use for several years. Key feat sets featuring Stormtroopers, 75059 Sandcrawler, a massive set with multiple Stormtroopers as part of the Tatooine setting. 75211 Imperial TIE Fighter. Again, a remake of the 2013 set with more modern designs and updated Stormtrooper minifigures. That might be the Solo one, which had, the Mimban Stormtrooper, but still not quite as applicable. Let me just type this here. I should have done that. It is the Solo one, but again, Solo did not have a regular Stormtrooper. I don't remember even Sandtroopers in the Sandcrawler. That's kind of crazy to me. Again, not perfect. There's so many other sets that actually came out during that time that actually had them. that they could have done there, that little chat GPT. Yeah, no Sand Trooper, no Stormtrooper. I don't know why chat GPT is saying that. You literally could have said the Death Trooper and Imperial Stormtrooper battle pack, but that's beside the point. New Stormtrooper design and special editions, updated printing and detail. As the LEGO Star Wars line continued to evolve, the Stormtrooper minifigure received updated printing on the torso, legs, and helmet. This refinement gave the minifigure more intricate details, including improved shading on the armor and enhanced facial features. Sounds like Lego's writing that part. Anywho, Lego Star Wars The Mandalorian influence with the rise in the popularity of The Mandalorian. Lego started to release Stormtrooper variants connected to the show. For example, the Shore Trooper and Snow Troopers have appeared in sets inspired by The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. Man, sorry, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not doing as well with Stormtroopers as it did with the history of army building, which is kind of ironic. I would have almost flip-flopped those. It's just little key things like Shore Trooper. No. I mean, if you put Artillery Stormtrooper in there, that would fit really well, but both of those fit in no way to either The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. Anywho, collectors and special editions. Some special edition Stormtrooper minifigures have been produced, including Chrome and limited edition versions to commemorate anniversaries as part of a larger set promotions, which is true. Stormtrooper variants, Sand Trooper featuring the classic Sand Trooper, but with the shoulder pauldrons and other minor changes, often seen in sets from The New Hope. Snow Trooper, a specialized version of the Stormtrooper from The Empire Strikes Back. Shadow Trooper, talked about that, introduced in later LEGO sets based on expanded Star Wars universe character. Shore Trooper, seen in Rogue One, the variant of the Stormtroopers based on the design worn by soldiers on the planet Scarif. Well, I mean, they weren't just on Scarif, especially now, but again, ChatGPT not as on point today, unfortunately. Cultural impact and popularity. The Stormtrooper minifigure with its instantly recognizable white armor has become a symbol of the LEGO Star Wars series. It continues to be a fan favorite and appears in numerous LEGO sets. True. Given the immense popularity of both Star Wars and LEGO, the Stormtrooper minifigure has become one of the most collectible figures in LEGO Star Wars line. Some rare versions, such as limited edition releases or minifigures with unique variations, have become valuable collector's items. True. Continued releases. As of the 2020s, Stormtroopers remain a prominent figure in LEGO Star Wars sets, with new iterations often appearing alongside other key characters from the franchise. The LEGO Group has continued to innovate with new printing and accessories to enhance the Stormtroopers' features, accuracy, and appeal. Not so much, but that's beside the point. Promotional and special editions. Stormtroopers are often included in special LEGO Star Wars promotions, and in 2024, the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars line, there are special commemorative sets featuring iconic characters like the Stormtrooper. Again, true. In conclusion, the history of this LEGO Star Wars Imperial Stormtrooper minifigure reflects both the evolution of LEGO's design technology and the enduring popularity of the Star Wars franchise. From its humble beginnings in 1999 to its current status as a beloved and iconic part of LEGO Star Wars collections, the Stormtrooper has become a key figure in both LEGO and Star Wars lore. Again, I think that was a pretty good conclusion. If not, man, I will say that it was kind of interesting to read that. Definitely not near as on point as the army building one. The history of army building was pretty on point, except for a few things. That was way more off, especially with its sets. Again, army building was off with its sets, but I feel like that was more off. But anywho, the future for the Stormtrooper. It's kind of an interesting time. What will the future for the Stormtrooper be? Will LEGO continue with the dual molded for the next decade or next half decade? We've already gone we got the 2014 style from 2014 to 2018. Now we're rolling up to that 6-year mark again next year. Is LEGO going to continue with the dual molded past that? Are they going to go back for the 2014 style? Are they going to go back to more of maybe an updated design, but more helmet style that people appreciate? In 2014, are they going to continue on where I still think the majority of the fan base, at least 66% the last time I checked, is not in favor. It is not doesn't think the dual molded are the best. I mean, again, putting it out there, I think they're okay. I like them somewhat, but I think the 2014 are far superior and something that LEGO should not have ceased production and have gone this way. However, whatever the case may be, as long as there's LEGO Star Wars, there inevitably will be Imperial Stormtroopers. Whether they're good or not is beside the point. There will always be, as long as there's LEGO Star Wars, there will be Imperial Stormtroopers. Thank you guys for watching. I do truly hope you enjoyed this another history of something in Lego Star Wars. Let me know down below what you would like to see me cover the history of something to do with Lego Star Wars down in the comments. I would love to do that. If you've made it this far and haven't already enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I know a lot of newer viewers that some of my newer videos are bringing in. There's a lot of new viewers that aren't subscribed, so please consider subscribing if you've made it this far and enjoyed the video and have not subscribed. For those of my subscribers, thank you for watching. Thank you for all you guys' support, and I will catch you guys next time.